Tonight, race against time. Savannah Guthrie and her siblings this weekend appealing for their mother's return.
This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
The message in a cryptic video.
We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her.
New details in the investigation.
I'm Andres Gutierrez in Tucson, Arizona, with new reporting on the search for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie as a second ransom deadline looms.
Also tonight, Breezy Johnson speeds to Team USA's first gold, while Lindsey Vonn violently crashes out, ending her Olympic comeback dream.
I'm Seth Doan in Cortina. Folks are coming down the mountain from having watched the women's downhill skiers and experiencing all of those highs and lows of the Olympics.
Super Bowl 60, it's game on at last.
I'm Chris Van Cleve at Levi's Stadium, home of Super Bowl 60. The big game is here. The Seahawks, the Patriots, Bad Bunny. A preview coming up.
Polar plunge. New York City colder than Antarctica. Strong winds creating these 20-foot ice mountains on Lake Erie. Millions in the deep freeze, many asking when will it end? All that, plus Minnesota's Team Peterson. They're Olympic curlers, also sisters and moms, chasing gold and toddlers.
I'm excited for this Olympics for a lot of reasons.
This is the CBS Weekend News from New York with Jerika Duncan.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us this Sunday. We begin tonight with the desperate search for Nancy Guthrie, with a second ransom deadline just hours away. The case has captivated the nation, but so far confounded authorities. This weekend, Savannah Guthrie and her siblings issued another anguished video pleading for their mother's return. The 84-year-old has not been seen since having dinner with her family 8 days ago. CBS's Andres Gutierrez is in Tucson near Guthrie's home. Andres, what do we know?
Jerika, investigators spent a better part of the day out here at Nancy Guthrie's home. Starting today, the sheriff's department will have a deputy stationed outside her house around the clock for security purposes. Now, with tomorrow's deadline looming, authorities are nowhere closer to bringing her home.
We turn to you, Lord, in our hour of need.
1 week ago, Nancy Guthrie missed Sunday service at St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church. Today, they prayed for her safe return.
We pray for Nancy's rescue. We pray for her release. We pray that she would be brought safely home.
In this Tucson suburb, a team from the Pima County Sheriff's Department once again searched the inside and outside of Guthrie's property. The hunt for clues led investigators back to her daughter Annie's house Saturday night. Detectives are now canvassing several gas stations and surrounding neighborhoods, tracking down hundreds of vehicles caught on camera the night Guthrie disappeared.
We received your message, and we understand.
Guthrie's children's third emotional plea comes as the FBI examines 2 ransom notes believed to have come from the same person claiming to have the 84-year-old. The search has become a sensation fueled by fame and the many questions that remain, not unlike the 1932 Lindbergh kidnapping.
On a cold and bleak March 1st, 1932, the little boy was kidnapped from his second-floor bedroom.
And the 1974 abduction of heiress Patty Hearst.
There's been a big kidnapping on the West Coast. The victim is Patricia Hearst.
For Guthrie's family, an agonizing wait.
We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Now, despite the FBI offering a $50,000 reward, authorities say they still don't have a suspect, person of interest, or vehicles in this investigation. Jerika?
Tough. Andres Gutierrez, thank you. To the Winter Olympics in Italy tonight, the U.S. has its first gold medals of these games. The U.S. figure skating team captured gold tonight. Breezy Johnson of Jackson, Wyoming, raced like the wind, coming in first in the women's downhill. It's the fastest and most dangerous alpine event. It's where teammate Lindsey Vonn's Olympic hopes were dashed with a devastating crash. Tonight, she's reported in stable condition after surgery for a broken leg. CBS's Seth Doan in Cortina was there for the competition and has the latest for us tonight. Seth.
Behind me, Jerika, you can see those white lights. They line the run that Lindsey Vonn and her teammates raced on today. We were there in the crowd when she crashed, and there was just this collective gasp and then a sort of stunned silence. The full range of Olympic emotions were on display in one day and one ski slope. Both the spectacular victory for the now gold medal winning American skier Breezy Johnson and the disastrous crash of her teammate Lindsey Vonn. Vonn was airlifted and taken to a hospital where she underwent surgery for a fracture in her left knee. She ruptured the ACL in that same leg on January 30th and had to be taken off a mountain in Switzerland.
There was silence when, we watched the crash happen in real time. So that was pretty scary.
Americans Megan Haley and Amy Siz were still processing the crash on their way down. Team USA says Vonn's right ski pole snagged a gate, jerking her off balance and out of control.
You would love to see Lindsey go out on a high, not in a medvac, but very happy to take home the gold for Team USA.
Patriotism is always a part of the Games, and today President Donald Trump posted that U.S. Olympic skier Hunter Hess doesn't represent his country, calling him a loser, after the skier answered a question Friday about politics back at home.
Just because I'm wearing the flag doesn't mean I represent everything that's going on in the U.S.
In Cortina, we've seen pride for the U.S. athletes and respect for their Olympic-level commitment. Charles Christensen is a skier himself.
People train their whole lives for this moment, so they're willing to put everything on the line. And sometimes it pays off, and sometimes it doesn't. We saw a version of that today.
But Breezy Johnson at the top of the podium.
Absolutely. America did win a gold today. I think that's a really important thing for, America to remember.
Tonight, Breezy Johnson is saying that her heart goes out to Lindsey Vonn, Jerika, and tomorrow the hospital says it'll have an update on Vonn's condition.
Yeah, hoping for a full recovery, Seth. Thank you. Here's a look at the medal count. Norway so far tops the 93 countries competing at the Milano Cortina Winter Games in both total medals and golds. Now to that other big sporting event. You've heard of it, the Super Bowl. Seattle is the favorite to win, but their opponent, New England, knows a little thing or two about winning on the big stage. CBS's Chris Van Cleve is outside the stadium in Santa Clara, California. Chris.
Jerika, the big game is here and the world is watching. The Seattle Seahawks are narrow favorites to lift the Lombardi Trophy, but to do it, they've got to get past a very good New England Patriots team. And it's not just about football. There's a lot on tap tonight. About 70,000 fans will fill Levi's Stadium, and tens of millions will be watching around the world. The past three Super Bowls have been the most watched U.S. television broadcasts since the 1969 moon landing. Beyond the gridiron, rockers Green Day will open the game, and then Bad Bunny's halftime show. Fresh off his Grammy win, it's poised to be a historic set. On the field, one of the NFL's most iconic franchises, the New England Patriots, led by second-year quarterback Drake May.
I don't take it for granted and know how special this is. I'm just trying to enjoy it, enjoy with my teammates, enjoy with everybody who helped get me here, and from there, go try to win it.
Safety Richie Grant was picked up by the Pats mid-season, going from the sofa to the Super Bowl.
Being home for 3 weeks, Super Bowl, I'll take that any day.
Quarterback Sam Darnold, after playing for 4 teams in 4 years, has led the Seahawks to their 4th Super Bowl and a rematch with New England.
I always believed in myself. I knew that I could do this at a high level, and that was really it. That's what kept me going, and I knew at some point an opportunity would arise.
Teammate Eric Saubert.
It's like kind of a long journey in the NFL. Like, you never know where you're going to be, where you're going to make it, and we got a chance to do something really special, and I'm just really trying to savor it in like every moment.
Truly, this is a Super Bowl of underdogs. Neither team really expected to be here at the start of the season. If the Patriots can pull off a win, they become the winningest team in Super Bowl history. Jerika?
Chris Van Cleve, thank you. To politics now. President Trump used social media today to claim without any evidence that U.S. elections are, quote, rigged. There's also news tonight about the 2020 election. CBS's Willie James Enman is in West Palm Beach, Florida, near the president's home with the latest developments. Willie James, good evening.
Jerika, good evening to you. Today, a federal judge ruled Department of Justice records related to the recent seizure of 2020 election ballots and documents from Fulton County, Georgia, must be unsealed by Tuesday.
This raid at an election hub 11 days ago, sparking new criticism from Democrats as the Trump administration zeroes in on voting in America.
The whole thing stinks to high heaven. And the fact is, Donald Trump cannot get over the fact that he lost Georgia in 2020, that he lost the election in 2020.
Last week, officials in Georgia also asked a federal court to order the FBI to return ballots and documents that were seized. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard's attendance at the raid drawing questions from lawmakers.
I believe she has been totally inappropriate, showing up on a domestic criminal investigation in Georgia around voting machines.
The voting battle looms as President Trump has said he wants to take over elections from Democratic-run areas with the November midterms on the horizon.
If a state can't run an election, I think the people behind me should do something about it.
The White House claims the president is referring to the SAVE Act. Today, in a post on Truth Social, the president once again claimed America's elections are rigged and stolen, while calling on Republicans to pass the legislation. CBS News election and law contributor David Becker.
We're seeing disinformation being spread, in this case by the President of the United States, targeted at his own supporters, at others who might not like the outcome of elections, and unfortunately some are believing it.
The bill would implement photo ID requirements when voting. Americans would also need to provide proof of citizenship when registering to vote. It's already illegal for non-citizens to cast ballots in federal elections.
Now, the Constitution gives states the power to carry out elections, but Congress can make laws regulating the process. The SAVE Act has already passed in the House, but it faces an uphill battle, Jerika, in the Senate.
All right, Willie James, thanks so much. Ukraine is asking Poland for emergency electrical assistance after Russian strikes on 2 power plants. Those attacks on Ukraine's war-ravaged energy grid kept up today. More than 1 million Ukrainians are without power, with the country in the midst of a brutally cold winter. Tonight, much of the northeast United States is in a deep freeze. New York City set a cold record at 6 degrees. The extreme cold froze the water fountain you see there at Manhattan's Bryant Park. On Lake Erie, punishing winds pushed ice into towering mounds, some of them 20 feet high. Quite a sight. Let's check in with CBS News meteorologist Grant Gilmore with more on what to expect. Grant.
Good evening, Jerika. Look, for many, relief probably not coming fast enough. Once again, this Arctic air just had a tight grip across much of the mid-Atlantic and northeast United States, holding temperatures 20 to 30 degrees below normal. In fact, over 20 locations came close to or broke record cold high temperatures for today, with highs only in the teens and low 20s. As we go into tonight, over 60 million Americans once again underneath cold weather alerts, with dangerously cold wind chills between 20 to 30 degrees below zero. And this Arctic air will send actual temperatures below zero to around 10 degrees, with many still feeling like below zero. And this cold air is in stark contrast to the warm temperatures across the central and western United States, where temperatures are running 20 to 40 degrees above average for both the overnight lows and the daytime highs, where some of that warmth will start to move east tomorrow. New York looking at a high of 30 degrees, but nearly a dozen record high temperatures are in jeopardy tomorrow. Phoenix looking at a high of 87, and Lincoln, Nebraska at 73. Jerika, back to you.
Thanks, Grant. Straight ahead on the CBS Weekend News, the Super Bowl ad that is not chasing dollars. Instead, it is tackling hate. Plus, the Minnesota Sisters leading Team USA curling, all while juggling jobs and kids. More than 120 million Americans are expected to watch Super Bowl 60. Many are interested in the outcome of the game, others entertained by the commercials. But at least one ad isn't aimed at selling a product. Its goal is to tackle hate.
New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft is used to winning. But over the last couple of years, he says he has felt a personal loss that extends well beyond football.
I think what happened when the war in Gaza started, things were really getting better. Ever since that war has gone on, what's happening there has increased the hatred.
He calls it a setback from the progress made in 2023, when Kraft started a campaign encouraging people to wear this small blue square with a hashtag. It's a symbol that started off challenging people to stand up to Jewish hate. But these days, he says it's meant to call out hate in all of its forms, like in this commercial, which will air on Super Bowl Sunday.
Do not listen to that.
this ad is supposed to do what?
Create a sense of empathy and understanding and get people to stand up.
Inside the Patriots Stadium, a command center of stats tracking hate speech online. It shows where it's coming from, the time of day, and how it's trending, especially among younger people.
We saw that not only is hate and anti-Semitism growing across the country, it's disproportionately growing on college campuses and in high schools.
Which is part of the reason Kraft says he partnered with the United Negro College Fund and the Jewish organization Hillel International to host unity dinners throughout the country.
So let's get to it.
Baruch College students Aiden Herzlinger and Akish L. are among the more than 450 students who've attended at least one of the dinners.
Why Jewish students with black students?
Because historically we had that connection. It's a connection that's gotten a lot done, and I think we can continue to get a lot done if we come together.
Is there a world in which you would also want Palestinian students in this country to be part of that dinner or that conversation?
Absolutely. The only way you have unity is if you have good dialogue and mutual understanding.
Still ahead on the CBS Weekend News, some scary and deadly moments at an amusement park this weekend. Stay with us. Tonight, hopes dashed for an official visit home by the first American Pope. The Vatican press office says there are no plans for Pope Leo to visit the U.S. in 2026. Chicago-born Robert Francis Prevost was elected Pope by Catholic cardinals last May. An amusement park ride took a deadly turn in India this weekend. Authorities say the ride, known as the Tsunami, collapsed after a mechanical failure. At least 13 people on that ride were hurt. 2 people died, one of them a police officer who rushed to the rescue. To South Carolina now, in a first look at a frightening accident there. Video shows a tractor trailer appearing to be stuck underneath the gate at a railway crossing northeast of Greenville. The truck was then struck by an oncoming train. It happened Friday. No injuries were reported. Next on the CBS Weekend News, a pair of moms who are also sisters aiming to sweep up a gold medal. But first, a look back at this day in history.
It is my good fortune to have been selected as their White House correspondent.
Salt Lake City has been waiting 7 years for this day.
Finally, curling is the only sport played every day at the Winter Olympic Games. And unlike other sports, the competitors usually are not full-time athletes. In tonight's Weekend Journal, CBS's Ren Clayton catches up with 2 Minnesota sisters leading the U.S. team while balancing day jobs and their growing families.
Getting dialed in while balancing everything. For Olympic curler Tara Peterson, every day is crucial.
Trying to catch up on things, work a little bit, be a mother as well, still practice, and just get ready for what's next. Really good weight, Tab.
Though the schedule is hectic and the goal is a gold medal, there's still time for Tuesday league nights at St. Paul Curling Club.
That's just the cool thing about the sport of curling, is that your average Joe is playing against Olympians, and we're friends.
Tara is part of Team Peterson, named for older sister Tabitha, the skip of the U.S. team.
I have to just think about it as it's just another tournament and try not to focus like, oh my God, we're at the Olympics.
The sisters have been curling since they were little.
Atta girl.
Now in their 30s, competing professionally while juggling their jobs. Tara a dentist, Tabitha a pharmacist. Both new moms.
It's really fun having babies the same age because we can just hang out and then the babies can get some socialization and play together and we get a little relief.
Their 1-year-olds have joined Team Peterson in Italy, the games serving as a marker of time.
It just changes your whole perspective, it changes your whole life. So yeah, I'm excited for this Olympics for a lot of reasons.
chasing children and gold, redefining what an Olympian looks like. Ren Clayton, CBS News, Blaine, Minnesota.
What an experience. Well, that is the CBS Weekend News for this Sunday. I'm Jerika Duncan in New York. We thank you for watching. Have a great week.